Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I've got a piece of Jatoba hardwood here that I picked up at my local hardwood supplier. And this piece I believe is about 6.5 inches wide. And I need a piece to mount on the CNC machine today that is 12 by 18. So what we're going to do is we're just going to process this board into two 12-inch or two 18-inch long pieces, and then we'll edge glue it together. So stay tuned. All right, so we got our two pieces. They are not been jointed at all. So in order to get a good glue surface, I'm going to break out my my small tabletop joiner, and we'll joint these two faces. What I have here is Type Bond 3. It has kind of a darker color to it, so I thought it works well with this, plus it's my glue of choice. I tend to use the stabbing motion like this. Not that it makes any difference, but you know, in more porous woods it kind of pushes some of that glue into the pores before it can squeeze out. And I'm not concerned about glue squeeze out on this. I'm more concerned with it just being good and flat. All right, well, we'll let this cook in the clamps, and then we'll be back. All right, we let the glue up here dry in the clamps overnight, and now we're just going to take these clamps off. Things look pretty good. You just want to clean up this surface a little bit, because this will be the surface, the final surface for part of the cross that we're making, and so I want to make sure that this surface is as cleaned up as it can be, so that I don't end up having to sand after the fact once the engraving is done. So that's what we're going to do next. All right, so now we have our blank all kind of cleaned up. I got the glue squeeze out, sanded down so that that's all gone. I think we're ready now to take it back and put it on the CNC and start our machining process. I don't want to cut into my my table, so I'm putting down this scrap in order to bring my part up off the table. I got a brand new table. I don't want to mess it up the first try, right? I'm just kind of roughly lining this up with the grid. Again, real handy thing that I have, you know, that I used the machine to make this grid. If you do that, then you're guaranteed that where these two meet, that's 90 degrees to your machine, as opposed to it being 90 degrees to the front of the machine or the face. So I'm going to put the V-bit in right now because I'm still working on getting my laser wired up. So the best way that I found to really be able to zero the machine where I need it is by using the fine point on a V-bit. I just put it in finger tight. It's not sloppy in there at all. Now I'm just going to center it on the marks that I made. And I really like this wireless, referred to as a pendant, that I purchased. You can set your zeros right from here. Again, I could do it with the mouse and keyboard, but I think now that I have this, and the more I get comfortable with this, the more I think of other ways that I can improve my setup here by mounting, say, a larger monitor behind the CNC unit, and then just be able to use this pendant to really do much of what I need to do. Okay, so we have the X and the Y set. The first operation that we're going to mill is going to be with a 1/4 inch end mill. This is just a standard 2-flute from Whiteside bits. Now we can put our dust shoe back on here. The only thing we have left to do now that we've got our bit in and tightened up and the dust shoe part back on here is really to zero this cutter head out to the table. So once we've got it zeroed out, we raise it up and we get the appropriate brush. In this case, because I'm using the 1/4 inch parting tool here, I'm going to go ahead and use my long brush just so that when it's down there on the first pass, we get adequate dust collection. Alright, so as it turns out, my board that I glued up was actually thicker than 3/4 of an inch, and so it didn't go all the way through. I need to use some kind of a saw instead of a like a utility knife. So I'm just going to use Sonic Crafter from Rockwell Gizmos. So I'm going to try it out. I've seen other people use this and see how it works. Okay, well that got most of it. I just need to get a flush trim bit and go all the way around. So I'm going to do a real quick rough sand here though. Alright, so we're getting there. Basically I need to find a way to pop these inner portions out so that you can see the full cross. And I also need to come in here with some fine hand chisels and refine these letters and clean those up as well. And then I need to do some final sanding here to get rid of the tooling marks. So that's what we're going to be doing now.
Well, all right, as you can see, that's going to wrap it up. Please remember to like and subscribe, and thanks for hanging with Harv.